heavy driving progressive rock with moments of introspective contemplation. Is it Elidi? Is it actually pronounced Elidi? I should check that.
No, it's Elidi.
Elidi.
Well, at least that's how we say it. To be fair, we found the word written down, and then we spent a bit of time trying to figure out how to say it the best. And I think Elidi is probably the best way to say it.
Elidi.
Richie, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Thanks for inviting me on, and looking forward to the interview.
Thank you for being forgiving about me fucking up the band name.
Everybody does.
First of all, as introductions, could you introduce yourself and the other members in the band, please?
Yeah, so I'm Richie. I'm one of the two guitarists of the band. Then we've got Jack, who's the other guitarist, Troy on bass, Steve on drums, and Dan on the vocals. And
And the band history. How long have you guys been around? I don't even know.
Well, we've been around for 6 years now, I believe. 2016, I think, was when we started, maybe 7 years. We started just me, Steve, and Troy jamming. And it sort of Dan's joined and Jack's joined in the last couple of years, and that's pretty much it. We've had a few other members here and there, but just kind of casual people jumping in, playing keyboards or other guitars. But
you had an album entitled Sin, released almost 4 years to the day, and a single called Witch's Brew in April last year. You're currently writing new material, as your Facebook told me. So how's that going, and what's the game plan for that?
Yeah, definitely time for a new release. Unfortunately, I think it's probably going to take us till the end of next year to release it. But we do have a lot of material in the works. I think we've got about 35 ideas that we've been mucking around with, and we're kind of just in the process of refining that down to what the best ideas are, and then developing them into actual decent songs. But that's kind of we've done the tour in May, and we've done a bunch of other shows recently, but the last of our shows, aside from the two in September, pretty much done with. I think we had one last Friday, but now we're just getting our head stuck down and trying to get into writing the album.
When you say album, obviously that's a bit more substantial than an EP. So how many tracks are you sort of aiming for? About 10 or?
Yeah, we're hoping to have, I reckon, 12, with maybe 2 of them being kind of just interlude tracks.
Right.
But yeah, we want to do a full-length album. That was one of the things we talked about recently, was that we just wanted to go the whole hog this time, because the EP was an awesome learning experience. But now we just want to go boom, album. And I think that's a large part, is that we're just big fans of albums, especially being sort of a prog band. It's like albums, you can take your listeners on a journey and express we really want to kind of tell a story.
The sort of modern sort of single release thing, you kind of lose some of that magic that I guess I experienced when I was younger, because it was all, it was all albums, it was all CDs, it was all bodies of work, as opposed to the sort of modern Spotify single phenomenon. So
yeah, 100%. And I'm sure it's probably better to do the single thing, but I guess when it comes to making music, there's like some concessions that you have to make, and then there's other ones that you're kind of like, well, can we just like do it the way that because it's we're both designing a product and expressing our art, so trying to find the balance between those things is tricky.
Singles are good for promotion, and I think albums are good for expression.
I think we just want the journey. That's what we're set on, and that's what we'll do. I do a lot of the artwork for the band, so I'm really keen to get my teeth into that artistically as well. I'm really keen to explore some ideas and themes and imagery and that sort of stuff.
Are your songs quite long? Like prog bands generally have relatively long songs.
Yeah, I think about 5.5 minutes is about the average length of our songs. It's hard to write short songs.
The reason why I ask is, of course, like you said that you're doing that, you do the artwork, and you're releasing this thing. Will you be releasing it on vinyl?
Yeah, actually, I think we will look to do the vinyl thing, but I think there's only 20 minutes aside on vinyl, so
12 long songs, you're going to probably have to have a double vinyl, and then that would mean you probably get a gatefold. And if you have a gatefold, you have a lot more room for artwork. So I was just wondering if that was part of your sort of game plan, or whether I just gave you a really good idea.
It is now. Yeah. I'm super keen on that. The more room I have to do artwork, the better.
This question was something that you just touched on a moment ago. It was about the shows in September. I recalled that there were more shows than there are now, or something. Something's happened, so maybe I thought you could sort of like clarify the show situation in September.
Essentially, what happened was those shows were supposed to be in May with the rest of them, but that was the second week of our tour, and the second week was cancelled because everyone caught COVID. But now we've got them in September, and I think originally it was Napier and Gisborne, but I think we've changed it to Napier and New Plymouth now.
And as for the shows you've done, how did they go?
Oh, they went excellently, actually. Like, we just had so much fun. We had a great reception from all of the audiences that we played to. I think we sold out Christchurch, Wellington, and Auckland. I know we sold out a couple of them, but they were, mostly packed. And it was just a blast. It's really fun traveling around the country and hanging out with all your mates, because all of the bands, we're super friendly with one another and we have a good time, and it's like a real bonding experience for all of us. And it's just cool to see people really appreciating New Zealand prog, because we've just got so much talent here. Like Clamus and Pull Down the Sun are just absolutely phenomenal musicians and bands. Just totally world class. And a bunch of the other bands that I hadn't played with before, so Distance, they're a Christchurch band, and we've been planning to do some shows with them, but we didn't end up playing with them until we played in Wellington. Oh. And those guys just totally blow me away. Like that was the last show that we played. They've done an album release show, and just an amazing sound, just a mix of all cool things that I love about music, and just super cool people as well. So, but tours have been a lot of fun, and the shows that we've done have been wicked. Also played the town hall recently, and that was awesome. We were the only metal band on there, and it was great to see heaps of people still waiting in the crowd and checking us out. Awesome. Even if they've no idea who we are or why we're there, but it's cool.
The band's been around for a while, as you mentioned. So do you feel the band has evolved over the years? And if so, how?
Well, the thing is, when we started making music, we didn't really know where we were going to go or what we were trying to do in particular. Like, I think this is probably the second band that I've been playing for guitar for. So I was just trying to kind of learn the instrument and figure out what I wanted to do with it, how that would be a different type of voice, because I was a bassist previously. And so, originally we were in drop D, and we were just writing like lots of intricate stuff and just messing around with a lot more time signature stuff than has made it to the newer stuff. And we were just really just playing around, seeing what we could create, finding our own voice as a band, learning to work with one another. And but since going to Melbourne to work with Tom Larkin, they wanted us to go into drop A, which is a much lower tuning than D, so it gave us a much darker sound. Because I put us in the category of metal band now, but I think when we started, we were like, I think half of our material was just clean guitar the whole way through. Right. But I think it's a much more modern sound now, and much kind of more impactful. And we definitely noticed a big change when we jumped onto the stage after going to Melbourne. The songs just had much more intense kind of reception. But and since the EP, we've gone through lots of changes as well. I've been picking up writing stuff on the computer, which has totally changed the kind of stuff that I'm creating. I'm trying to incorporate production techniques into my writing process. Right. And so, we're gearing more towards electronica sort of influences, trying to really just blend as many genres as we can that kind of fit a theme. We want it to sound more modern and more kind of techie and futuristic and those sorts of elements, which I think is a cool spin on the stuff that we've already put out there. So and I think the other we're just learning to be better songwriters, and we've come long ways in that process, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Good answer. Plans for the rest of the year. I suppose you'll just be writing for the most part, but have you got anything else in the pipe?
No, it is mostly just writing and creating artwork, trying to figure that out, getting the sights and the sounds blending together and kind of converging in interesting ways.
Saving for the vinyl, that kind of thing. Cool.
Yeah, yep. Saving for all of it.
The last question that I ask everybody is there anything that you'd like to add? And this is an open forum. You can say whatever you like. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the interview?
Yeah. Well, I'd just like to, thank friends and family who have been supporting us over the years, and the fans that have come out and checked out our shows, bought our merch, bought our album digitally or physically. And yeah, like we're trying to make it work as musicians, trying to, bring the most interesting, compelling show that we can. We can't do that without, support from people. And yeah, just super grateful to have the opportunity to do this for some part of my life with such a great group of people, like the guys in the band. Like, they're awesome people, and it's a real honor and a real privilege. Yeah.
Well, best of luck with the with the writing, and hopefully the vinyl plan comes together. Although it is quite a fresh idea. Best of luck going forwards, and yeah, I look forward to hearing what you have to offer when you finally get to write it.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
And thanks for watching.